Houston, Texas. Good to see you here. Gina, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for showing up. For you, I think it's maybe noon. Rainbow, California. Woohoo! Hey, Thalia. Awesome. Might have a little bit of an echo. Orange, Rita from Orange. Every time I hear orange, I think it's like, I think of Atlanta and Peachtree. Everything's peaches there. Ooh, Canada. All right. Hi, Julie. Yay. I'm going to give a couple minutes because some people have a hard time logging into this kind of stuff, and then we'll get started. But if you have some distractions and if you feel like you have some things that might impeding your flow, you're in the right place, because we're going to talk about that here in a jiffy loo. So Canada, is it cold up there still? You know, it's kind of cold still down here. I'm in sunny San Diego and it's chilly. I actually have on my space heater. I know I'm a wimp, but I used to live in Florida, so I don't think I'm still acclimated. But I think it's like 57 degrees. It's crazy. But at least it's not May gray right now, so that's good. 12 degrees today. Woohoo! Hey, Michigan. I knew Michigan. I heard that there was some snow, actually. One of my girlfriends is going up that way. Actually, she's in Saugatuck. And yeah, chilly, holy crap. 16 degrees Celsius. Whew. Well, that's why I live in San Diego. I'll tell you that. We'll give like maybe another minute, but hey, everybody stay warm and grab your blankies and all that good stuff, and just kick back and relax, because we're going to have some fun today. Okay, hard stop. All right, Yvonne. So guess what? I'm going to start, because I want to actually honor the time that you spent with me and the time that you've dedicated to do this. So we're just going to get going, and you know, people can catch up and jam right in. So if you have a workspace that is overflowing with debris and piles and all that stuff, and you feel like you're distracted constantly, you're in the right place. We're going to talk today about how to eliminate the distractions that keep you from moving forward in life and getting things done like you want to get done. So we'll start out just a couple logistics. Make sure to, limit your distractions, turn off your bells, your bangers, your beepers, your cat, your dog. I had to lock my cats out because they're running around like banshees right now. And then by the end of the program, if you can hold tight and stay, I'm going to offer you something that I'm not offering anywhere else, and you'll get a really good bonus. And at the end, I'm also going to talk about the Get It Gone formula, which is a formula that I put together to help people just like yourself who might be having too many distractions and too many frustrations. So we'll jump right in. I want to start just by talking a little bit about me. I was a travel writer. I've been a licensed boat captain for years and years. Actually, I think I figured out 17 years I lived out of a duffel bag in a suitcase, either as a travel writer or delivering yachts. And what I realized is that living small was super important, and having everything that you need right at your hand's reach was also super important. But I didn't want all that extra fluff and stuff in my life. After I'd deliver a boat and I'd be gone for like a month or so, I'd come back to my apartment and realize that nothing in there had any relevance. In fact, I remember being at sea one time out in the Gulf Stream, thinking about everything that was in my apartment and thinking like, none of it matters. None of it doesn't even mean anything to me. So flash forward, I settled down, got married. We started a publishing agency. And then I started acquiring all my possessions, right? And I started building the house and nesting and all that good stuff. And when we were in the tourism industry, and we had Marriott's and Omnis as our clients. And when 9/11 hit, it kind of disasterized us. How do you like that word, disasterized? On 9/12, we lost tens of thousands of dollars of contracts, just like that, right? So what happened was, we held on for a little bit, but my husband had been wanting to move from Florida back to California, where he's from. And he said, hey, baby, if you all go work for the man, if you wouldn't live to California, you can figure out what you really want to do. Because I've been doing all this really adventurous stuff, but I knew that what I was doing wasn't my real calling. So after a year into it, I figured out I love systems and I love change. So I decided that I was going to become a professional organizer. Now, at at that time, the only thing that was out there was clean sweep. And there was a very inkling of people beginning to figure out what a professional organizer was. So that was fantastic. And so flash forward 17 years, I was blessed to be featured on Good Morning America as a successful woman's startup business. That was huge for me. And, I started my company on $49. We were kind of broke because we had lost everything after, 9/11, and $49. I had door hangers. I went walking around hanging stuff on doors. And by the end of the day, I would have, a client call or two, and I'd start building my clients. Well, then when GMA called me and said they wanted to feature me, I was like, wow, this is huge. So since then, I've been featured. I've published a couple books. I've been featured in some magazines and on, Oprah and all that good stuff, which is fantastic. And I'm not really saying this to brag, but I know that if you wanted to, if you're going to take the advice from someone, if you're like me, you want to take the advice of someone who knows what they're doing and walks their talk. So that's the only reason I'm going to move out of that for now. Let's move forward. I want to talk to you about the 3 massive mistakes that I've seen my clients make over the years. I've been doing this for 17 years, and there's 3 mistakes that happen over and over and over again, and we're going to jump into them. The first one is broken systems. Systems that they're either broken or they're duplicated. So systems that aren't quite working, but we don't really know what it is that's not working, or maybe they're duplicating themselves. The next thing I see is a lack of follow-up, especially as I had a business in Florida. We were like on it because being from Ohio, my husband from California, we would respond and we would get back with people that wanted to hear from us. And 93% of the people don't follow up. So lack of follow-up is a huge thing. And then also paper piles. I was deluged by paper back in the day before I was a pro organizer. And the only reason that I really studied paper and became a certified paper flow specialist was because everybody had paper and no one tells us what to do. So I'm going to jump into that. So let's just jump into the systems part of it all. I don't know if you know that a crucial element is duplicated systems. So people suffer unnecessarily from this because take, for instance, they have their contacts in their phone, they have their contacts on their computer, they have their contacts maybe in an email database or someone that's something, but none of them are synced together. So so they don't know where to find the contact when they need the contact, basically. That's what's happening with that. And most importantly, the system is broken because they don't have them, even if they are synced, they're probably not categorized. And categorization of contacts is huge for being able to find things. Take, for instance, if someone wants to, you say you want to refer someone out to a vendor, you bought this thing and you love it, and you tell your client, hey, I really want you to send you these person, but you can't remember who it is, who they were, what they are. If you had them categorized as vendors or maybe joint venture partners, you could go into that part of the database and actually find them and be able to refer the people to them. You would stop wasting missing hours trying to find things, which we'll talk about more, and you would actually be on and be a great reference and resource for your clients. Take, for instance, maybe you have, as far as duplicated, you have 2 calendars. Or maybe even 3. Some of my clients have 3. They have a calendar in their phone, they have a calendar on their computer, they have a calendar on the wall for their family. None of them are synced together. Now, if that happens, there are missing appointments that happen all the time. There's overshots of each other. You have appointments jumping onto other appointments. And quite honestly, you get really confused and frustrated. You spend a lot of time trying to figure out where you're supposed to be when. So that's an example of a duplicated system that ends up sabotaging your productivity. Or maybe you have to-do lists for your to-do list. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit. So business systems are the keys to success. Michael Gerber is one of my clients, and he just pounds this in. As if you've read any of his books, The E-Myth, he pounds in business systems. And, systems are really the key to growth, right? So if you don't have systems, you're not going to be able to grow. In fact, they've found out, studies show that annually businesses without proper systems or bad systems or duplicated systems or jacked up systems lose 20 to 30% of their revenue every single year because they're inefficient. right? And their current way of doing business is not as fine-tuned as it could be. There could be a gap in your business. And if you're feeling that you don't have that forward momentum, it could probably be a lack of systems that are impacting your revenue. But, don't beat yourself up because it's common and there are easy to create solutions. And once the gap's filled in, you'll see your bottom line increasing 20 to 30% with a lot less effort. Imagine what you could do with that, like 20% growth in your company. Yeah, 30% growth. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll raise my hand to that. So systems are the best way. Now, payoff for creating systems is 1 to 10. I tell you, you give me an hour, I'll give you 10 back in productivity. I see it, I do it, it happens all the time. And also, if you feel like you're stressed out, overwhelmed, and overloaded, you're not alone either, because 93% of the people in this survey said that they felt overwhelmed, overworked, and exhausted and unable to do their job. So lack of systems is a huge, huge thing to productivity and to making more money. Brian Tracy explained it this way. He said that every minute you spend in planning saves you 10 minutes in execution, and that gives you 1,000% on your energy. My favorite guy, Abe, let's see if I can say this right, so I say it backwards. Abe Lincoln says, if you give me 1 hour, he says, for every hour I spend in preparation, I save 3 hours in perspiration. I say, you give me an hour, I'll give you 10 for sure. I did that right for a change. So let's talk about lack of follow-up. Follow-up's the number one easiest way to make money if you work a follow-up system. 9 out of 10 people say they don't. 9 out of 10 people will say that they're going to do something and then they don't do it. Does this sound familiar? You've had someone promise you that they're going to do something for you, but then they just don't follow through and do anything. Maybe you met someone who has a great contact and you say, hey, I'll follow up with you and let's meet, let's talk, right? And let's see, what I can do for you and what you can do for me. And then guess what happens? Nothing, crickets. Because why? You didn't follow up. Either you didn't follow up or they didn't follow up, or you intended to follow up. You wrote a little note to yourself. You got back to your office. You sat down. You started running around and doing your projects, and then you lost a piece of paper with that person's name on it. I'll talk about that in a little bit too. But, it wasn't up to the people oftentimes to follow up. It's up to you to follow up. You're the one that's in control of your business, and you're the one that makes things happen, right? Yeah. So if you were to follow up, I would say for sure, you'll make 20% increase in revenue. You will increase your revenue 20% because most people don't. Most people don't follow up. 9 out of 10 don't follow up. Isn't that crazy? I think it's crazy. But if you look at what happens when people get back into their day-to-day grind, and perhaps they're getting into an environment where they can't really think straight, they lose their complete follow-up ability. So if you were just a little bit organized and spent a little bit more time and only increase your revenue by 20%, what would that mean to you? That means 20% more money in your bank. And a good follow-up system is something that's critical for that, right? So the easiest way that you can build your business, especially as an entrepreneur, is to harness the power of your contact list, have everything organized and categorized, and actually follow up. Having a system of follow-up to support you is a really good thing. And another thing too is you don't want to look like a schmuck. So the most professional, the most non-professional thing that I've ever seen is when people say they're going to do something and then they don't. How does that look? Like, think back. I'm sure you've had a few people who have said they're going to do something for you and you were all excited and it's really in their ball court and they really kind of have to initiate so that you're not asking and then they don't. How does that make you feel about them? You're like, maybe they weren't quite as brilliant as I thought they were. I really looked up to them, but now I'm wondering, and I don't feel comfortable really following up now, because I'm not even sure if they dropped the ball if I did do something and refer someone to them or however it worked, right? So think about that. So remember before COVID when we used to network? Remember that? We would go out and we would network, and we would go to, like, a networking here, a networking there. Maybe on Tuesday we do a networking event. We get some business cards. We collect those business cards. When we meet people, I used to like put stars and put notes on the back so I can remember who the heck they were when I get back to the office. Well, then, so you go to one networking, and then you come back to the office and you have these business cards, and then you go to another networking event, you come back home, you have these business cards, you file them. Okay, raise your hand if you've ended up rubber banding business cards because you thought you were going to put them in your contact database. Yeah, I know it happens. I know, Thalia, it happens. And or raise your hand if you think that you were going to do something with them, and then you tried to call them, but you couldn't remember who they were because they weren't in your database, and they went, well, 4 people have raised their hand. I love this. It just happens, right? So back to the database and back to networking. If you're going to network, you're going to have to follow through on what you promise these people. And so you don't look like a schmuck, and so that you do actually have the information. Like, why go to a networking event if you're not going to follow up? Why even go, right? In fact, whenever people go to conferences, when my clients go to conferences, I tell them, if you're going to go to a conference and you're going to spend 3 days there jamming out, you need to have the 1 to 2 days afterwards blank, clean slate, where you're doing nothing, but you're inputting the data and inputting the information into your brain, and you're inputting what you need to do into your system so that you do it, right? Like, why go to a 3-day conference and not get anything from it besides a bunch of notes that are scattered everywhere and there's no action taken? Same thing with networking. Don't go to networking events if you're not going to have the systems in place to back you up and support you to actually take action on what you want to do, right? So, okay, let's put it this way. Maybe you met someone at a networking event and they weren't that influential, but they knew the person that you needed to know. They knew that person. They said, hey, reach out to me and I will connect you. Does that ever happen? Has it ever happened that you are so excited, you get back, you run into your office, you throw the card down, you jump into a phone call, you jump into a project, and then a week later, you're like, oh my gosh, who was that person? What were they going to introduce me to? I know it was super duper important. Oh my gosh, I don't know, right? So this happens. And what you want to do is have systems to support you for all of your business endeavors, so you don't look like a schmuck. I know I say that a lot, but it's so true. And so that you actually get things done and you increase your bottom line revenue. Okay, we already raised our hands for those who have found piles of business cards. I had one client who he had 5 piles of business cards rubber banded on his desk by different, he was a realtor. So he had like Arizona business cards, Ohio business cards, Utah business cards, but he didn't, when we went to put him in the database, he didn't even know what these people meant to him. And then, we ended up chucking almost all of the business cards that he had so carefully rubber banded and categorized, because guess what? Well, for me, a week later, I'm not going to remember. His were like 3 months old. How are you going to remember anything about that 3 months later, right? Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, Thalia. Yeah, you go to networking and you spend that time inputting in your database. I love that. Love that. Okay, so stay with me, because the number one sabotager in the world are paper piles. Papers screw us up so much. You don't even realize how much papers do. Once you understand the potential of havoc that they raise in your life, you will definitely want to get it gone and get them out of there. Papers affect you every single day inside your business. And they're the biggest mistake that's robbing you of your most precious time, your most precious resource, which is time, right? Time's finite. So, think about this. And the studies have shown this over and over and over again. The average US entrepreneur and executive wastes three hours a week looking for missing documents and information that they know that they have, but they cannot find. Now, that's the national average. And I'm sure a lot of you are above average. So you might be wasting even more time, because I know you're super duper out there. So let's do the math on this, because this is a little bit crazy whenever I did this. So 3 hours a week equals times 52 weeks, let's just say there's 52 weeks in a year, which I think there is, that means that 156 hours have been wasted, okay? Now, let's get even deeper. 156 hours, if you work a 40-hour work week, is pretty much a month. 4 weeks missing of productivity because you've been trying to shuffle through and find stuff that you know you have, but you can't find. That's almost a month a year. So let's go even deeper than this. This is crazy, okay? So say you've been in business for 10 years. You've lost 10 months of productivity. Say you're going to be in business another 10 years. Let's say you're going to be in business another 12 years. If you're going to be in business for another 12 years and you don't do anything about the situation right here and now, you're going to waste an entire year of that time wasted, just gone. You're not making money, okay? You're not going on vacation. You're not saving for retirement. You're not, increasing your bottom line. Imagine what would happen if you had that extra month a year to spend with your kids. If you had time to take a vacation. Imagine if you could take a vacation without having a cell phone plastered to your ear and without worries about things left undone or worries about not really having enough money to take the vacation that you really wanted. Imagine what it would be if you could increase your revenue 20 to 30%, your bottom line, simply by getting your act together and getting your papers under control. Imagine what that would be. Wouldn't you rather spend, I'd rather spend 4 weeks in the Virgin Islands than working, quite honestly. Yes, indeed, I would. And that's what will happen if you take control of the situation. Now, there's a lot of hidden things that happen besides just losing money, right? You're going to lose money with past due bills. Perhaps bills have been lost on your desk and then they're overdue, and then you get that $34 fee or whatever it is. Or maybe you've lost a phone call. Like I said, with the business cards, you were supposed to call somebody, but you didn't because you couldn't find their contact. Or maybe you missed a deadline because your calendar was all jacked and you didn't even have it in the real calendar that you were looking at. Or maybe you had to delay events because your projects weren't done because you couldn't find the notes to the project. And maybe you were overpaying taxes, which has happened a few times. So raise your hand if you've ever had a late bill because it was lost, or that you missed a deadline that was super duper important because your calendar just didn't have it on there, like you didn't get the bing and bell and beeper and all that good stuff. So, there's a lot more symptoms that come from piles than just money, right? There's a lot more symptoms. Piles are symbols of things left undone. Okay, so anytime you have a pile in your life, it means one of three things. You're procrastinating, you're avoiding, or you just don't know what to do with it. Okay, you're indecisive. So if you have a pile, it represents one of those things. Now, as a symbol of things left undone, we suffer from that because we know that there's things left undone because it's a visual reminder right there of things that we haven't done, okay? And you feel energetically zapped. You have stuff to do and it's constantly gnawing at you in the, like that in the back of your mind. And, it just happens. And I wanted to quote one of my clients. She said it so succinctly. She said, "It feels like I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. I'm always shuffling paper. I would love to touch it once." And she went on to say, "I have way too many notebooks." She's an author. I have lots of author clients. "I write things down and then I can't find the notebook where I wrote it, let alone the page that I wrote it on. I'm constantly searching for the information I need instead of finishing my papers." Does this sound familiar? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, before I was a professional organizer, back in the daytimer days, right, I would make all my notes in my daytimer thinking, oh, this is really cool. It's all in one place. But then I couldn't remember the date, but I'd try to remember the side of the page and the part of the page that I wrote it on so that I could find it. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. That used to be my go-to. That was my go-to thing. I would try in my mind to remember what side of the page and what part of the page it was on, right? Absolutely. So when facing paper piles, a couple people raise their hand. When facing paper piles, it's normal to feel out of control, because guess what? They are out of control. They multiply like bunny rabbits. That's why I have the bunnies all over here. They multiply. Anytime you have two things piled on top of each other horizontally, they multiply just like rabbits. And before you know it, there's even more. And I'm just telling you, these papers end up having babies, and they have so many babies that, well, eventually you can't take it. And then you stuff it in it. Okay, people are coming. Stuff it in a bag, throw it in the closet, throw it in a drawer, jam it out somewhere. When it gets to be too much, we tend to put it all together and jam it somewhere. Well, guess what happens? They have more babies wherever they're laying. And they have a different mutation of babies. They even have dust bunnies. So the bunnies of the papers have created more papers, and they've created dust bunnies. So, just guess what? They just start collecting more and more and more. I know I've been there. I've seen them. I've been in closets. I've opened up drawers to find bags of files. I know that it happens, right? And yes, there is a solution. So, but a little bit more. Focus. You lose focus. They're the great distractor. Okay. You're easily distracted. Okay. Here's a good one, you guys. Raise your hand right now if you've been distracted by something on your desk that you're sitting while you're listening to this conversation. Yeah. Because if you have anything lying around, it represents unfinished business. And especially, if it's there and it's there, you're distracted, right? So common scenario is this. Here's scenario. You're on the phone, you're talking to somebody, you're having a really good conversation with a potential client. You look at your desk and you see this random sticky note sitting there looking at you, and you start reading it and you're like, oh, and then, wow, I don't even know what I was talking about with this person. I've totally lost my concentration. I totally lost my mojo. I didn't know what I was talking to them about. And now I'm saying, I got to call that person who was on that Post-it note, right? So you're not even present to things that you're doing. You're not present to people that you're speaking to. You're not present at all if you have distractors, and the great distractors are the piles or random pieces of paper. They trigger our thoughts. Okay. They trigger our ADD. Now, I think, quite honestly, I know I'm ADD. For sure. I will claim that. But I think that almost all of us are ADD because of all the types of information that are coming at us. And these piles and this undone stuff sitting and screaming at us silently on the sides is only making our ADD greater. It's actually increasing the ADD in our lives by having that. And so, you're unable to come up with brilliant ideas. I mean, a lot of people who have ADD are creative, artistic. We are the creators. We are the brilliant people in the world. I'll claim that too. But if there's stuff I am so distractible. If there's stuff in my environment that is calling my name, I will go there. I'll go like, oh, squirrel. Oh yeah, right. A hawk flies by. I'm like, oh, hawk. And then then I get back and I'm like, oh boy. And I don't know if you realize that for every distraction that you encounter, take for instance, you want to get up from your desk because you have to, you go get a snack or whatever. The average entrepreneur has gone 17 minutes before they get back to their office to work on anything of any import. It takes 17 minutes to get back to focus. So you really have to protect your environment. You have to protect your situation as if it's your life, because it is your life, because it's your time, because time is finite. And we only have a certain amount of time that we can get things done. Creating systems are the easiest way to control, making a working system a habit. And it takes 4 to 6 weeks to change your wily ways. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to change a habit. Then you're going to be on the right track if you can create a habit that sticks. A client complaint that I hear all the time is, I know I should do it, but I don't. Then I beat myself up and the feeling of defeat is holding me back. Again, I want to do things the right way, but I don't know what the right way is. No one's ever taught me how to deal with these papers. Guess what? No one ever teaches us how to deal with the mail. And the mail is just one of our factors of paper. Like the mail comes in 6 days a week. So even if we never leave the house and never leave our office, then we don't know how to deal with the mail, and the mail's there. Okay. So I know you probably suffer from paper overwhelm. A few bottleneck spaces, bottleneck areas will impede your flow. And when things get too cluttered, you just shuffle. So the huge challenge is once you begin to shuffle, you end up getting overwhelmed and you're not sure where things went. Or if you know where it is and you're a professional piler as such, then you spend all of your brain power remembering where things are. So after thousands of clients for 17 years, I really know what's going on here. You tell me my piles are good. I know where they are. I can tell you anything where everything is, but you've lost your brain time. And guess what? You've suffered your creativity. Your creativity is no longer flowing because you're spending all your RAM in your brain remembering where things are. And that's your new normal. And if that's your new normal, then I want you to stop that and save yourself 3 hours a week, which is, a month, a year almost. So another thing that happens is late tax filing. Now, I don't know, I know some of you are in different countries, but if you have these random piles around, I would guarantee that you probably have filed extensions late. I used to, before I was a pro organizer, we do an extension late every single year because I was buried in the paper. So if that happens, I can guarantee you that a large percentage of you have done. You've waited and waited, you've procrastinated, you've not really had the tools. It's a big, huge thing to get your taxes together because your papers are just not put together properly. One of my clients, in fact, lost she paid the IRS $70,000 too much because her receipts were in disarray. She was screaming and yelling when she hired me because she was so frustrated. And do you think she'd get the money back? She will, but you know what? We're 6 years into it. She has not gotten her money back yet. So she's working on it. And she's an attorney. This is another one of my clients, and another one of the mistakes that my clients make is that they are, this particular client, she comes to my mind because she was a really successful professional and she worked from home and she was also a full-time mom and, doing the juggle thing. And what would happen is her kids would come home and they would be saying, mom, I need a whiteboard or I need a Sharpie. I have this project that's due now. Like they were always under constant deadlines as well, and behind the gun, like she was, like mom, like kid. And so they couldn't find anything. So she'd drop everything. She'd run out to the store. She'd go to Staples. She'd come back. She'd give the kids the stuff. Then she'd sit down. Guess what? She lost half a day every time that happened. Half a day of productivity. Now and that's her actually screaming. She says, take my picture. This is how I feel. So I actually took her picture. So, after we organized her supplies cabinet and her paper piles and got her systems put together, she's now able to focus and she can serve her clients better because she can actually get down to business and get projects done. So this is what happens is she wasted money on duplicate supplies. She wasted money on time that she couldn't serve her clients quite properly because she was constantly distracted by trying to find things, again, that she knew that she had, but she couldn't find. When we organized, we found so many duplicates of everything. It was pretty bad. And she actually had all these duplicated marketing materials that she had actually had to purchase from her company to give to her clients. But since she couldn't find them, she bought more so that she could give them to her clients and yada, 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 right? Every year after the fires, I get a lot of thank you notes. Thank God, lately, we haven't had any massive fires in my area down in southern San Diego for a couple of years. But every year I get thank you notes. And this particular client, I just found this old note and I just had to say, I just wanted to read it to you. Dear Kathi, we had to evacuate twice. Hold on. She had to evacuate twice from her home. The first time was without me. The second time was with me. So this is what she said. After the second fire, she sent me this note. Dear Kathi, when we evacuated for the fire this year, my new filing saved me much time, much stress. I was able to pull all my red permanent files and policies and insurance policies quickly. I had all the important information I needed because my home office and papers were organized. It was good. I grabbed and ran out the door knowing I had everything I could possibly want or need. And I was able to operate my business this time when I evacuated the hotel. Now, the first time around, I neglected to say, she grabbed a laundry basket She threw a bunch of papers in. She ran to the hotel. She got to the hotel only to realize that she had old magazines and old bills, and nothing that she needed to run her business, and nothing that she didn't have any policies to call on insurance or anything. So every time, the fire happens, I get these thank you notes. And I put the fire one in here because all the time I have clients telling me, I wish my house would just burn down. I don't want to have to deal with this, and I don't wish a fire on anybody, and that's not the way to do it. There's a much easier way to take care of it. But I know everybody has been saying, well, what's the solution? What's the solution? I see you in Slack, I see you in chat. Okay. But if you're ready to buy back a month of your time, I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. I have a step-by-step method that will help lead you into the mecca of having every single paper and document in your environment organized and able to find within 30 seconds. You'll get more organized systems in the easiest, simplest way. I am a professional organizer, so I put this together as a step-by-step, very strategic program, very strategic. And I invite you to stay with me so you can find out how it goes. I created this system, I've been doing it for 17 years, and I finally created it online for people just like you, because I really want people to be able to take control of their business and make more money and be happier, because, we're all in business because we felt like we had something to offer the world. And the last thing I want, my goal in life, is to make everybody able to thrive so that they can bring their best forward and present it to the world. That's what it's all about. We're all here. Most of us, I would bet, are purpose-driven entrepreneurs right here that are on the line, and that's what it's all about. So I know most of you, and some of you probably have all three of these challenges, and you're creative, you're passionate, and you're ready to move forward. And I know that you can do a system. Just like this client, this is what she said. Kathi did the impossible. She took my overstuffed, disorganized file system, yeah, right, and turned it into a streamlined, workable, service-friendly tool. I love my papers right now because I know where they go, and I'll be able to find them. What a blessing. Kathi knew just what I needed to keep, what to throw away. We actually brought a 50-gallon trash can. Yes, actually we did two, but she said one, and filled it with outdated stuff. Do you know how liberating that is? Bottom line is, the more organized you are, the more efficient you are, and that all adds up. It's all well worth it. And guess what? You only have to do it once. I created this course especially for you. If you're experiencing the challenge of not enough time, too many piles, too many distractions, never able to take a vacation, this course is for you. So this course involves a paper flow system. The paper flow system that I use is so critical, and I put all my clients on it. Probably 90% of my clients are already on this system. It's a way for your papers to, as a paper trafficking specialist, I should say, what I want for you is a place for your papers to land when they enter your life. I want a place for them to live when you need them. And most importantly, I want an exit strategy. I want a way to get them out of your life when you no longer need them. Because guess what? The average file system, 80% of the papers in there never come back out again. They never see the light of day. With your papers flowing, you'll say goodbye to your overwhelm, you'll reduce your procrastination, and you'll eliminate your analysis paralysis. I would never try to invent a paper file system. I don't have the capacity for that. The guy who invented the system spent 6 years figuring out what a piece of paper could be and where it could go. I would have been stuck in analysis paralysis myself trying to figure this out. But this allows you to get rid of all that and just move forward full stream boogie. And remember that every minute you plan saves you 10 minutes in execution. I am saying, if you give me an hour, I'll give you 10. Absolutely. Now, this course is set up so that it's 6 live group coaching calls every week for 6 weeks, and where we have lessons, we have downloadable worksheets. I record everything so that people can look at it back again. I actually send you a copy of the file system, and there's customizable filing labels, there's training manuals, there's worksheets. We celebrate all along the way. I think that this is very important, that we celebrate our success as we go, because no one really wants to file their papers, but it feels really good once you get everything done and going. So let's break into the modules. Week 1, I talk about the fundamentals of papers and what a piece of paper can be. Once you understand the 6 categories of paper, you'll know what to keep, what to get rid of, and how long you need to keep it. And so week 1 clears your desk and the surface of your mind, basically. Desk surface and your mind. Week 2, we create the action system. This gives you a place to have all the papers that you need to deal with right now, front and center, vertical, in your face, so that you don't lose them, and so that you can keep on task and keep your papers rocking and rolling in and out of your life, and keep the things that are in action right now. You'll get rid of the stacks of paper, and you'll get rid of stopping to have to fumble with what's happening. Week 3, I help you get ready for taxes. Once the system's built, whether you have QuickBooks or not QuickBooks, it's going to be individualized for you in the class. If you use QuickBooks, we'll have one thing. If you don't use QuickBooks, you don't need QuickBooks actually with the system. So it can eliminate a lot of that drudge if you don't want to do that. And you'll have your paper set. And I see some hands raised. I'm going to take questions here in a minute. Oh, I used to wish for a fire. Yeah, I know. So this week, we're going to set up the system. Week 3, the system's actually getting set up for your taxes. Week 4, you're going to simplify and file the remaining papers. Whatever papers are left, we're actually going to file into the system for you. And you'll learn how to rotate your old papers out of the system and get rid of them when you no longer need them. And that's super duper important, because like I say, majority of file systems, 80% come in and never see the light of day again. And you don't want that anymore. I had a corporation call me in. Actually, I can't remember who it was, but I've worked for a lot of corporations. They called me in because they wanted to add another bank of file cabinets. And I'm like, I don't think you're going to need that extra bank of file cabinets once we put together the system. And surely they didn't. In fact, we got rid of 2 4-drawer file cabinets instead of having to buy a bank of 4 more, which was fantastic. Anyhow, so with the system, the only papers that you're going to have in your life are ones that you actually need, right? Week 5, we're going to create your filing landscape. We're going to determine what files should be where, what you have in your office environment. Everybody's going to be different within this workshop. So it's one-on-one trying to figure out where each category should live and what's going to serve you best, because it's very customizable. And so we're going to work on that, like where should your files go? What's your best position? And then you're going to implement the strategy. And then week 6 is maintaining and finding things in less than 5 minutes a day. With the proper file system, it's so quick to maintain, you won't even believe it. It's super duper quick to maintain. Less than 5 minutes a day, and you're back in business the next day. So the reason that I put this together in 6 weeks is, guess what? It takes 4 to 6 weeks to change your wily ways. It takes 6 weeks to change a habit. So I'm going to be with you 6 weeks so that I can change your habits, because my goal is to create a system that sticks for you. I'm really, really invested on having a system that sticks, that you can use for the rest of your life. Once the system's built, it's built for life. We do it generically, so you don't have to, take, for instance, for insurance, we don't say State Farm, we say Insurance Home, things like that. So it's very generic, and it'll last you for the rest of your life. It'll be set up perfectly, but it takes 6 weeks. And that's why I'm doing a 6-week course. Yeah, I know. So we talk about the fundamentals of paper, we create your action system, we get your taxes done, tax receipts ready to go, simplify and file your system, figure out where files are going to live, and then maintain your system. That's basically it in a nutshell. But there's a lot of other things that go along with it, and I have a lot of bonuses. The first bonus is I've put together a time management checklist, because as I said earlier, time is the one thing that we have limited. That's what we have, limited. We all have a limited amount of time in our life, this time around anyhow. And I did a checklist that will help you take control of your time. And it also, makes a difference between reaching goals and not reaching goals. The second bonus is a simple office organizing special report that I wrote a couple years ago. And what I like about this report is it kind of shows you how to separate church from state, or how to keep your home life separate from your business life. When we're working in a home offices, you know, oftentimes things get all mingled and commingled. So I talk a lot about that, and you know, also how to set up a proper supplies cabinet and get things so they're at your fingertips right away. The third bonus is my book. I'm actually going to mail you an autographed copy of my book to your doorstep when you join this class. And it's important because there's 10 chapters, and each chapter addresses different entrepreneurial pain points or systems that we need to put up. And chapter 1's all about paper, which is what we're going to be covering in the workshop. And so, so you'll get an autographed copy of my book. And then along with that, you're going to get a free month of my Organized, Energized Insiders Club, which is worth $47. And every month I do a workshop, or I do it's like a group session. In fact, the next one's next Tuesday. So when you join, you'll be able to pop into the Insiders Club even before the class starts next Wednesday. And that's worth $47. I'm going to give you a month free on that. And then I'm going to ship you the Freedom Filer Label System Kit, and it's going to be customizable, and I'm going to show you how to use it. We're going to put your file system together, and look how pretty it looks. Like, I've had my clients say she just likes opening up her drawer because it looks beautiful. When you open up your file drawer, it looks just like this. It's gorgeous, right? So you're going to get that as well. So to wrap it up, you know, you're going to get your time checklist, you're going to get your organizing special report, you're going to get an autographed copy of Master Your Muck, you're going to get your Freedom Filer kit, you're going to get a month of the Organizer Energizers Club, and those are what you get for your bonuses. But I have one more, and, you know, I promised you that if you just, you know, stuck around, I was going to tell you a free bonus that you have. But the full program, the full value of this program is about almost $4 grand, $38.78. And that's what the program would cost if you bought everything individually. But right now, I'm giving you a special investment price because this is a beta class and it's the first one I've done as a group. I'm giving you a $500 discount. So all you have to do is go to the getitgone formula.com and put in the code GONE. Rebecca is going to actually put in the chat the link so you can pop right on the link. Just remember when you get to that page to put in the special code GONE so that you can get it for $497 instead of $997. From now on, it will be $997 for sure. But since this is the brand new one, I'm getting you all in. And plus, you know, you spend time with me, and I really appreciate the time that you've spent with me so far. But I do have one more thing. For those of you who are in it, I know some of you have raised your hands and some of you are like, yes, 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 I want it. I'm going to give you a fast action bonus of giving you 30 minutes of my time. This is going to jumpstart you into this process. So for the first 15 that sign up, or until noon tomorrow, it goes away. So you're going to get this fast action bonus of a free half hour with me one-on-one, either before or during training, whatever you want. But you're going to get free 30 hours one-on-one with me, and that's $125 value. And, you know, I can't wait to actually applaud and congratulate the people who have taken the time to do the fast action thing, because 30 minutes with me, I know pretty much, we can talk for 5 minutes. I'll kind of know where you are. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I'll be able to tell you immediate steps, action steps. I'm an action taker, immediate things you can do right away to jumpstart yourself into the training, or jumpstart yourself if you're halfway through the training and you have something else that you want to talk to me about. I'm here for you, and you get 30 minutes of my time. For the first 15 people that sign up and the first 50 people that take action, you get that bonus. And I have someone tallying right now, you know, to know when we have 15 people taken, and I'll let you know. There is a 30-day back money guarantee. So this is the thing. If you go with me and you're in this class and then you're thinking to yourself, it's just not going to work for me, I'm okay with that. I'll give you your money back. I know from my heart of hearts that this is going to rock your world, and it's going to save you 3 hours a week or a month every year once the system's put into place. I know in my heart of hearts it will. But if for some reason if you're just not resonating and you're not jamming out with it, I'll give you your money back. I don't want any bad feelings out there. But I know for a fact it's going to rock your world. So, you know, if you feel like you're not going to get it, and if you feel like you're on the fence and you're just like, you know, it's a little bit of an investment, I don't know, Kath, you have that guarantee from me that I'll refund your money. No questions asked. Well, I might ask you a couple questions, see why, but other than that. So now a lot of you have been saying that you have questions, and I'm going to open it up for questions. And I think we're going to do this in chat. So go ahead and put your questions in chat and I will answer them for you. Remember, go to the getitgoneformula.com and put in gone so that you can get that, so that you can get the discount, the $500 off. And then also, you know, if you're the first 15, you can get that 30 minutes from me. So let's take questions, and let me see how I might have, oh yeah, okay. What if you have questions in between recordings? This is awesome. Okay, if you have questions in between classes, I have set up this thing called Voxer. It's a Voxer group chat, and it's really kind of cool. It's like you'll just call me and talk to me with a question, and I'll talk to you back with the answer. And also it's going to be a group Voxer so that people can answer if they have similar questions. So we're going to be able to have group live chats all throughout the course, which is kind of cool. It doesn't have to be during the class. So if you have questions in between the classes, then you'll be able to do that for sure. Okay, sorry, the class starts next Wednesday from 10 to 11, same time, same bat channel. It starts next Wednesday and it goes for 6 weeks. If you have to miss a class, because I know it's late timing, there are recordings of the classes that you can actually listen to, and again, you can jump into Voxer and ask your questions and catch up. There's going to be a lot of things that you can just rewind. And once you have this course, you can always access this course. You can always access the recordings. And I'll have brush ups probably throughout the year for people, like, you know, whenever we get to tax time, to make sure that everybody has it together. I'll probably do a little adjunct class about that, you know, for a very minimal fee, just to make sure that everybody's on track and they're doing what they need to be doing. Because again, it takes 6 weeks. This is why this is a 6-week class. It's going to take that long to probably get your files organized. Okay. Miguel, regarding having one system, is it best to use a paper planner or a digital one? Okay. There's no one way to do anything. This is what I believe. Some people are paper planner people. I have one client who lives for her bullet journal. She does it so very well, and she actually uses it. Other people, they lose their planner all the time. They might want to go digital. So it's really kind of about you. I've actually gone digital with my calendar, and I'll tell you what, I was a daytimer girl forever, and it took me, it was a little bit scary to jump over, but now I'm on digital calendars. I will never go back because they all sync together. As long as they're all syncing together, you're golden. Yes, the classes are recorded. Absolutely, Rita. The classes are recorded. You can jump back into them anytime your little heart desires and get a refresh. And it's 10 a.m. Pacific time. So just like now, it's right now. Okay, only it's a week from now for 6 weeks. So it's 10 to 11 a.m. is when the class happens. We're going to have celebrations throughout. I'm going to be playing happy music. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to jam out and groove and actually do things together during class. Then in between, you'll have little manuals to follow and some worksheets to go to. I'm going to show you how to put together the system. You're going to get the book and the label kit right away as soon as you join. I'm going to zoom it out to you, and then we'll jump right into getting going and getting your papers going. So it's 10 a.m. Pacific time, 10 to 11 a.m. every Wednesday for 6 weeks. Okay, let's see. We have more participants raising their hand. If you put stuff in chat, I think that's the only way I can see this. I don't think I can hear. Is it possible for me to hear, Rebecca, people's questions? I don't think so. I apologize for that. But put your questions in chat. And unable to change from US to Canada on the form. Oh, okay. Nola, I will go ahead and have, Rebecca's going to fix that for you right now. So you'll be able to fix. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you in class, Nola. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll do the free half hour either before or during the class, whatever time you want. That's great. Remember, everybody gets that free half hour for the first people for the first 15 people, or until noon tomorrow. Basically, that's when I'm going to cut that off for the free consult. And no, okay, I can't hear audio. I guess I can only hear chat. So I'm so sorry. You guys are raising your hands all over the place. If you type in what you want me to answer, I'm here for you, and I'll answer whatever you need to know. So, this is the time, carpe diem. We're going into summer. We're already going into, what are we going into? So we're going into second quarter. We're in second quarter. So where are you at right now with your business, and where do you want to be at the end of the year? I absolutely know that if you spend 6 hours with me and we put this thing together, that you're going to get so many more hours back. I know, and it happens with my clients. 17 years I've been doing this. Every hour you give me, I'm going to give you 10. I guarantee it. You'll get 10 back. Okay. The paper or digital planner, what works best? Ooh, okay. So that's back to kind of, it's back to the person. And that's why I really wanted to do this workshop, as a live group, so that I could help everybody. Everybody thinks differently. Some people want to do digital. Some people are paper people. I actually still have a paper notebook that I use for my to-do list, because I love scratching it off. So I still use a paper to-do list, but I'm digital with everything else. There's hybrids of everything. You can be paper, you can be digital, whatever really works for you. But I want you to choose one, and choose one only. And I say, choose your weapon, choose it wisely. And so, make sure that you're using the one that works for you. And Yvonne, hey, no problem, Yvonne. I'm so happy to have you on. I cannot wait to see you in class. And thank you, Sheila, for showing up. Here's some more questions. Can I teach scanning as such? And I absolutely can teach scanning, and I can absolutely teach Evernote. If we have time during the class, I'll talk about it. But yeah, there might be some things that you want to scan that you might not want to file. Yeah, we all want to go digital now, right? But the fact that we're not is why I'm doing this paper flow class. It's like all about that. It's all about, first, let's handle the environment that we're working in. If we have papers everywhere and scattered all over the place, let's start with that. And then we'll move into digital. I almost was going to do a digital and paper filing class together, but it's a little bit complex, and digital is a whole nother beast. And I'll actually be offering a workshop for that in the future, digital organizing. Yeah, a lot of people want to go digital, and I definitely think that digital is the way to go, but we're just not there yet. They were saying, what were they saying? Like 12 years ago, I remember saying, we're not going to have any paper anymore, and we're all going to go digital. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. I have the most virtual client in the world. She literally lives here in Southern San Diego. Her company's in Boston. She works in India. That's her home. That's her work turf. She still had paper, and she has the SnapScan scanner. She has all this stuff. She still has paper. We still had to put a paper flow system together for her, and she was totally digital. I mean, she was a more techie person, that I have. So, yeah. And Cindy, yes, not a good time. I hope I will be able to offer it later this year. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I have a lot of other things in the pipeline that are coming out as far as workshops and classes. But if you do want to join me, and you have to miss a couple of classes, you can catch up. I'll be here to support you. There will be the trainings, there will be the recordings. So if you can even make, 4 out of the 6, I'd say jump into it, and we will absolutely catch up. Okay, I have some hands raised. Can you please type it in chat? Let me see. Yeah, type your question in chat. I'm sorry. Okay, 50% digital, and it'd be good for me to have Scan Snap, but I need guidance on that. Absolutely, Rita, we can talk about that. And again, if you don't have the organizing system in your brain to how to organize documents anyhow, if you don't know the 5 categories that every document should be, when you scan, snap, and zip dump onto your hard drive, you're going to have the same kind of clutter and the same kind of mess. If you don't have the protocol to actually save them properly, it's just going to be another pile, only it'll be a digital pile on your computer that's mucking you up and you won't be able to find things. So you definitely have to have the proper nomenclature and the proper filing system to file your papers properly. So yeah, you need to have that for sure. There it is, the Get It Gone formula. Go ahead and you can click that link. I believe it's live in chat, and use the code GONE to get $500 off, which gives you more actually than 50% off. So you can get it today for $497. And I'll see you next week. I'm just so excited to jump into it. And what was that Michael's name for the checklist? Oh, it's Michael Gerber. Michael Gerber is my client. He wrote the E-Myth, which is a really, really super popular book. Right now, actually, it's been popular forever. He published, I think, maybe 15, 17 years ago, and it's been multiple editions, and it's called the E-Myth. Is there a way to rewatch this presentation again? You know what? I don't know about that. I'm going to have to find. I don't think so. Maybe I'll keep. We'll save the chat, Maria. And I think we probably have your email. We'll follow up with you and let you know if there's a replay. Oh yeah, we are doing a replay. Haha, so good to have tech support here. Let me tell you. Yes, we will do a replay. So yes, Maria, you can do that. But remember, if you want that free half hour with me, you got to do it before noon tomorrow. Obviously, you can join anytime up until the class. Although I do need to ship you the book. I need to ship you the kit. Make sure you have everything prior to the class. So I'll be zipping things out in the mail quickly. But if you want if you're going to do it, go ahead and do it sooner or later, so that you can get the free half hour with me, so I can jumpstart you. And yeah, Canada, you're ready to buy. I guess it's been fixed. Wow, I love tech support. Hey, I'm just appreciative and just humbled actually that you all have spent this time with me. I seriously am. And I'm seriously invested in helping each and every one of you who feels the need to get it done. I'm here to help you get it done. I help you here to get it done now. Once it's done forever. You aren't going to have to build a system again. Thank God, hallelujah. Once the system's built, the system's built for life. And that is a really good thing. And that's why I use this particular system. And I called it Get It Gone just because that's what I find myself saying with people all the time. It's like, get it gone. You don't need that. You don't need that. Once you know the categories that papers are, you'll know that you don't need half of the stuff. In fact, when we go through the process, you're going to ditch 80% of those papers that are in your environment. You're going to ditch them, and it's going to be a huge relief feeling from you to have less encumbrances, less stuff on your shoulders, like weighing you down, that you need to buy. And I see more hands raising. Can you please type into type into chat? I'm sorry that I can't hear your questions. Please type in your questions, and I'm here for you to answer whatever you need to know. Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm looking at the right screen. I'm not the biggest techie girl in the whole world, let me tell you that. Let's see, scan snap. I'm going to scan through here and see if I missed anybody. Yeah, paper or digital. That's a big thing. And you really have to make that decision. But I'll tell you what, even if you want to go digital, you still need a paper filing system. You do. We're not paperless yet. Not paperless yet. Maybe in a decade, I don't know. They were saying it would be, like 12 years ago, they were saying it a lot, but we're still not digital. We're just not. And yeah, the course, we're going to work together in real time. Yes, it's going to be a group session. We're all going to be talking together. Everybody will be able to see everybody. I'll have we're going to work it out. It's going to be live. It's going to be one on many with whoever's in the class. It's going to be me and you, and we're going to get it together. And I'm going to answer all your questions live. And then you'll also have the recordings to go back to, because I know when I'm in training, sometimes I'm like, writing things down, I'm doing things furiously, and then I'm like, what was that one thing? So I'm going to have the recordings there for you. There's also going to be workbooks and worksheets and manuals. There's going to be reference materials. I'm going to just load you up with as much stuff as you need to actually get it done. And I'm going to be with you every step of the way to get it done. So okay, Cindy says she already has the system. She already has the book. Yes, it's going to be super helpful if you haven't been maintaining the system, or if you've had issues around going to your taxes or things have changed in your business. Absolutely, it's going to help you. You'll get a refresher. We'll revamp your files if something's changed. Generally, the things are so generic in like home life, but sometimes our business life changes all the time. And like we might need a new system for a new project that we're working on. It depends on if you've kept up your action system and if you've done that. Do I help on accountability? Yes, that's why I'm here for 6 weeks with you. Absolutely. And the Voxer chat, I'm going to be out there going, okay, gang, where are you at? What do you do? Are you ready for the next week? Have you done it? You can have any questions at all asked to me real time. I like it because you don't have to type. In Voxer, I have instructions on how to use Voxer. It's just like a walkie-talkie on your phone. It's pretty cool. And yes, you'll be able to ask me things. I'll be able to hold you accountable. And definitely we will do that. We're going to focus on papers only. Yes, but the papers are going to liberate you and get all your projects up in a row. It's going to get your contact database better made. It's going to help you with all the other aspects of your business. And it's a ripple effect. What I found is that once you get all the piles and all the papers and all the things in your environment contained, you're able to do the other things that you need to do, like set up your contact database, set up a proper digital calendaring system, set up things that you need to set up, because you're going to have more time to focus on those things. Yes. So it's going to be a lot about time management as well as the paper flow system. So yeah, you're going to learn a lot more than just getting your papers in order. You're going to actually have skill set that you can use for the rest of your life to get more done. Yeah, that's a good question. Thanks, Cindy, for that. I do help with accountability. That's awesome. Any other questions out there? Any hands that you need to be raised? I see hands raised, but I don't see questions. So maybe for my next webinar, I need to figure out how to have people actually speak up and have it happen. I'm sure there's a way to do it. But of course, I am not the tech whiz. Where do you sign up? You go to getitgoneformula.com and then put in the coupon code GONE. So yeah, right there. It's back in chat again. You can just click on that link and put GONE, and there it is for you. And then, you'll get another free half hour from me, Rita, when you sign up. So that's good. Yay. And again, that is available only till tomorrow at noon. And here is actually the page where you'll actually go to. Oh, it's not showing it, actually, sorry. Yeah. So, oh, thank you, Thalia. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. We go way back. Yes, absolutely. Having an assistant with you, I think is a pretty good idea. Because what I do whenever I put this formula together for people, I like to have their assistants there, because the assistants are the ones that would maintain it. So she wouldn't be able to build her own system, but she would be able to build and refresh and revamp your system. Absolutely, Cindy. And I think that'd be really good. That's the thing that I love about Freedom Filer and about the system is I've set it up for like Sempra Energy in Port of San Diego and Ohio Masonic Home. And when I set up the system, I always train the assistants to be able to maintain it. And what's really cool, like at the Port of San Diego, I work with the marketing communications department. The reason it was really important to have this online or have this for them was that, say the marketing director and the PR director, let's say the PR director came out sick, the marketing director is able to walk into her office and find the files that she needs, because guess what? Everybody's on the same system. So it's so funny that marketing communications, they merged that department together when they hired me, but they weren't able to communicate with each other, and they didn't really know what each other was doing, the different departments. So absolutely, it helps to have everybody on the same page and have the assistants that are helping maintain the flow of the business know where to find things. And it was great. I had actually, I did have the marketing director call me after the fact, and she said it was great because I was able to walk into my my graphic designer's office and find the file that I needed when he was out sick. So that was pretty cool. Okay, two more people raised their hand. If you type it into chat, I am here. to answer. I'm here for as long as you have questions. I don't care. I've set aside this day just to do it up and make sure that everybody has what they need to make a proper decision. If there's no pressure. If you don't feel ready, you don't feel ready. But you know what? No one ever feels ready to organize their papers. Let's face it, it's kind of a drudge, but I'm setting it up. So I have music, I have celebrations all throughout, and we're going to figure out a good way to celebrate and actually get things done at the same time. And we're going to celebrate our accomplishments together. And we're going to see what happens together with the system. We're going to take pictures and see how beautiful our files look when we get them done. It's going to be pretty cool. So we'll celebrate. More people have raised their hands, but I'm not seeing anything else on chat. What else can I talk to you about? I don't know. It's really about me and you. It's really about me helping you facilitate the forward momentum in your business. If you're feeling overwhelmed, overworked, overstressed, not enough money flowing in, you've got a bottleneck. And I would guarantee that if you're looking in any pile anywhere right now around your space, the bottleneck is your papers, because they zap your freaking energy. Any kind of paper pile will zap the energy right out of you, and it'll take your concentration away from where you should be, which is present and able to move forward efficiently, quickly, and creatively. You are creative, and that's why you're an entrepreneur. Probably you have a lot of creativity in you, and that's why you do what you do, and that's why you started your business. So if you want that creative energy to still flow, you need to stop the bottlenecks, which is generally paper. And that's just the way it goes. We don't want to deal with it, but paper hits us 6 days a week without even asking. And I guarantee you there's a lot more paper that you've created or that people have given you besides just the lovely mailman or mail person, I should say. Okay. Welcome, Rita, Nolan, Michael. Yay, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be a nice ride. This is going to be awesome, super duper cool. I'm excited. And I know I have a couple of other people that have already joined as well. So remember, up until tomorrow at noon, the free 30 minutes with me goes away. So otherwise, hey, Sarah, thank you for being on. Oh, Cindy, you like to print everything? Stop. I know, if you like to print everything, you definitely need some help. So yeah, jump into this and let's get it done. But Sarah, thank you for being with me. And I know you have to go. Thank you so much for your time. I'm actually honored. I'm honored that you've spent this hour with me, because time is precious, and time is money. So thank you so much for giving me your time. And I hope to see you next week, Sarah. I hope it works out for you, that it works. Okay, it's 11:12. If there's any more questions, I'm going to take them right now. I'm going to stay on until 15 after, just to make sure that anybody that has any questions at all, they're answered for you. I'm here. I'm able. So if you're not printing, will you show me a better way to save? Yes, absolutely. I will show you a better way to save. And I'm going to, it's going to start with refresh on the basics of what any document in the world can be. What are the 5 categories? And then we're going to work it out from there on what not to print and what to save and how to save it. And, I have a feeling we'll do a little bit of digital. It's just because it kind of migrates over each other. And yeah, I will show you how to deal with that. And definitely having an assistant with you to learn it is going to be critical as well. So if any of you have assistants out there that want to join in, yes, they can join in. They just can't build their own system. It would be chaotic, but they can help with yours for sure. Or I could just work one-on-one with your assistant. But you need to change your wily ways as well. I know. So I'd love to have you also, with me as much as you can be. I know you're a busy, busy girl for sure. Yeah, better way to save your papers. Yep. Save the trees. I speak for the trees. I am the Lorax. I am the Lorax. It's my favorite thing, as hugging the trees. And we don't need to cut down any more trees, that's for sure. But, you know, the papers that we do have, we need to know what to do with them. That's for sure. And we all have papers, even if, like I say, the most virtual client in the world still had papers, still has papers. So let's see, any other questions? You guys have been very generous with your time, and I really, really appreciate your time, your efforts. There will be a replay, I guess. I'm not quite sure when or how. My little tech whiz is going to figure that out for us, and we will let you know, and we'll send you out a replay as soon as it's available. So thank you guys so much. You've all been awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love your questions. I love your energy. You know, I get energy from you. And that's why in the workshop, I'm going to be all excited, because we're going to be able to see and talk to each other and actually interact together. It won't be like a webinar situation like this, where we'll actually have a classroom workshop training, one-on-one, one-on-many, where we'll get to talk together. And with the Voxer, we'll be able to ask questions very quickly too, in between sessions, because obviously there's going to be stuff that you needed to be doing in between sessions. And you'll be able to ask any questions and get real-time answers from me back quickly. So that's what Voxer is all about. It makes it easy and effortless for us to communicate in between sessions. And then again, you can refresh, go back to the recordings anytime. Once you're in the Get It Gone formula, you're always in it. So you'll be able to access these recordings in the members portal anytime you want. Say tax time comes around next year and you just need a little bit of a refresh, you can go back into that particular week, see what's going on with your files, make sure that everything's right. I know that sometimes if you change corporations, or you change from a DBA to a corporation or things like that, the things will change within your system just a little bit. So you have to do a few tweaks and adjustments as you go. But really, it's not anything that's majorly that you have to change very much at all. So yeah. Refresher is always good. And like I say, I'm thinking about doing like some little adjunct classes throughout the year. Like I might have one about Christmas card or holiday card mailing or holiday gift lists or things like that. Just fun little adjuncts that'll jump right onto top of this. And as a member, you'll get special discounts to go in, and they'll just be little mini courses that will be available to you. And once you're a student, you're always a student, and you'll always have a discount to come into other classes for sure. So it's 11:15. I've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. I think that's enough of my talking, and you can tell my voice is going a little bit out. I've been a little bit under the weather lately, but I really appreciate you all being here, and I'm going to sign off for now. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We're here for you. How my participant can participate? No, she can actually be in the meetings. She can be in the meetings with us, Cindy, that's fine. Because it's probably for the better, because she's going to be the implementer. I have a feeling for you. I want you both to be in there. She can listen to the recordings afterwards if she has something comes up that she can't make the session. But yeah, if she's going to be the one doing your maintenance and actually helping you, assisting you through the process, yeah, have her be part of the sessions for sure. Absolutely. That would be great. And it'll just be the one fee for you, but she'll be working on your system. So yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be a good idea. And again, she can do the recordings too. Yeah, your assistant can participate. Reach out to me and let us know, and we will have we'll have her get an entrance into the membership. What I'll do with her is I'll probably just do a limited time membership, and then, you know, she can access, because she's going to have to be able to log in, and then she'll be able to join in on the situation. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so I will send the link to Wednesday's next first session. Absolutely, Rita. I'm so excited to have you here. I love hanging out with you, girl. So we're going to have some fun with that. And then after you sign up, okay, well, I'm hearing that after you sign up, after email support with their assistant's name, email. Oh yeah, just email support at Organized and Energized, and we'll make sure to have your assistant's name and email put into the data so that she'll get all the information to be able to log in to the training session when it starts on Wednesday. Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't seen you for so long, Cindy. It'll be good to refresh and see what you're up to. I've always been so impressed with what you do. So yeah, cool. That'll be really good. And we'll make sure that your assistant gets it once we know her name and her email and all that stuff. So you do support at organizedandenergized.com. Why don't you type that into chat, Rebecca, support at organizedandenergized.com. We'll make sure to have that. And you can click on that link, Cindy, and let us know who she is and what her email is, probably using your company name, you know, as your web address or whatever. But yeah, we will do that. Okay. Oh, here's a new message. Yep, there we go. Support at organizedandenergized.com. You can just click on that, Cindy, and let us know your assistant's name and email, and we'll make sure that she has access to join in on the classes. I think it'll be really cool because she'll be able to implement for you, and then you'll also be able to listen to recordings, and the workbooks and all that stuff will be there as well. So yeah, you'll get all that. So I'm signing up for now, guys. I'm going to lose my voice. Thank you all so much. I am honored and I'm just elated. I cannot wait to start this class. It's going to be a blast. I look to see you all there. Thanks so much, and signing up for now. Sayonara.